Hey, I just wanted to make this video as a way of talking about some of my favorite games that I collected over the years, and just talk about some of the little intricacies as to how I got them and why I like them in the first place. Let's get into it and talk about them for a bit. So first up, I want to talk about Digimon World 1. I've actually had this game since I was a kid, hence the crack in the case. This game's a little bit weird. It doesn't necessarily convey its entire mechanics in a traditional manner, so it's a little bit hard to get into, but I absolutely adore it for how much exploration it is. I like it. Next up is Digimon World 2. I can recommend this one. This is definitely off the rails of Digimon World 1. It's a dungeon crawler, and I absolutely adore just how much time you can spend in just trying to recruit new team members to your party. So it's a lot of fun. Next up is Tomba. Tomba's a little bit of an interesting one. It's just a traditional adventure game. You can definitely find yourself just doing little tasks, and it feels really cozy to just get into. It's a little hard to find, but I found it while I was on a vacation, and I just enjoy playing it for just lazy days. Next up is Vagrant Story, and by God, Square was killing it in the 90s. This is one of their best titles from that entire period. Has a few of the mechanics from Parasite Eve, and just a really darn good story. The writing in it is excellent, and I can recommend this one any day of the week. Next up is Suikoden 2, one of the best JRPGs on the PlayStation that isn't named Final Fantasy, and quite honestly, I wish that more people talked about it, and I wish it got a lot more groundswell. However, I guess they are going to be getting a little bit more groundswell now that those remakes are coming in. Absolutely recommend, and hopefully we can pick up those remakes without too much of a fuss. Next up is Resident Evil Survivor. This game is hot garbage, and I absolutely adore it for all of its entire flaws. The bad voice acting is just ridiculously fun and horrible, but by God, I enjoy it nonetheless. Recommend it to people who like garbage. Next up is Ghost in the Shell, and this is a really good 4.5 out of 5 game for the PlayStation 1. I don't have a case, so it's in a loose sleeve. The feeling of just blowing shit up, it never gets old, and it is a little bit disorienting, but I absolutely adore it. Recommend it nevertheless. Next up is my autographed copy of Silent Hill. I was at a convention, and I was actually surprised to see that Akira Yamaoka was actually performing there. So I went to the games alley and I picked up this copy of Silent Hill and got it autographed by Akira Yamaoka, and I have been super happy nonetheless. So these are some of my favorite